Hey, I'm Jeff and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be repotting this beautiful cactus for a couple of reasons. Now, one of the things that draws me into collecting cacti is their beautiful flowers. Now, this one is called the Trichocereus grandiflora, and just a quick Google search reveals the absolutely gorgeous flower that it produces in the springtime. I live in southern Saskatchewan, and you probably don't know that Saskatchewan has a few different varieties of native cactus, and it's absolutely stunning to see them flower in the springtime. Last year we went on a little canoeing trip in, I think it was in the beginning of June, and we saw a few different varieties of cactus flowering, and it's just always a treat to see. You can go hiking in the Capel Valley and you will see these clumps of cacti on the southern slopes of the valley there. So they do grow in kind of a gritty mixture, very dry grass kind of areas. So very typical of where you would see cactus in other parts of the world. So there's actually a few reasons why I want to take this out of the pot today. You can see there are 3 separate plants in one pot, and if you're to keep it in this arrangement, this pot size is getting to be a little bit too small because it's starting to just kind of flop over the side here. So it's definitely outgrown the pot, but I want to separate these cuttings. I might keep 2 in one pot, but I want to separate maybe this guy and put it in its own pot. Now you can see the soil has some perlite, so it's probably a good draining soil, but I want to put it into something a little bit more grittier. And then I also want to change the pot from just a plastic nursery to a terracotta pot. Now, if you're new to cactus or you're looking to get into it, these are super easy. All you have to do is just give them their basic requirements, and the most important thing is light. So whether that's natural light or artificial light, they need a lot of light. Jade plants like this one right here, they need high light for at least 6 hours a day. So if you have a south-facing or west-facing window for natural light, that's kind of the optimal area. You want to maximize the light that they get, so put it in your brightest window. And if you don't have a bright area, then they actually do quite well under grow lights as well. And they don't need a ton of water. They like to be thoroughly watered when you do water them, but you let them dry out completely. Obviously, these big chunky beefs here like to hold on and retain a lot of water. I got the word beefs, and it's kind of caught on after watching Plants with Crystal. She likes her beefy cactus, so it's kind of where I picked up. These are just big beefs. I don't know, it's just kind of stuck, so I don't know where she came up with it, but I like it. But anyways, we're getting off topic. There's another YouTube channel called Cactus Joe that I follow, and he gives out tons of information about cactus and succulents. I watched a video last night about things to look for when buying a cactus from a big box store or any plant shop. Just some things to look out for. Tons of information in that video. I'll leave it up in the top corner here if you want to go check it out. I always like to use a terracotta pot with all of my cactus and succulents. Terracotta is very good at absorbing soil moisture and evaporating it out, so that's why I choose a terracotta pot. And you always want to make sure that you have a drain hole as well, just so that there is no standing water in the bottom of the pot. It has a way to filter out the bottom and kind of drain away the excess water. So a good terracotta pot with a drain hole is a must. Now, when picking the size of a container or a pot, you want to make sure that it is just slightly larger than the plant itself. You don't want to go for something too large. Otherwise, it's going to just hold on to too much soil moisture, and it's going to rot the roots of a cactus. They do like a lot of water, but they like to dry out fairly quick. So that's kind of the misconception with cactus and jade plants in particular, is that they don't like a lot of water. So you basically just do a little sprinkling of watering, but when you do water it thoroughly until it comes out the bottom. You can just absolutely soak it. It's not going to hurt the plant. Where you run into problems is when you have a plant that stays wet for too long. So whether that's from an inappropriate soil, something that doesn't drain fast enough, or it just retains moisture for too long, or if you use like a plastic nursery pot, which it's not bad. You just have to be sure to keep an eye on watering. And then if you have obviously a pot that's too large, then it's just gonna have too much soil moisture. So make sure you set it up for success. So have lots of light, an appropriate pot, and appropriate soil. Now, in previous videos, I've always said to use a cactus or succulent specific soil. Now I've kind of switched away from that, and I've been using a gritty mixture. It's basically just a variety of different kind of rocks. I don't know if you can see it, I'm going to drop a bunch, but it's just a, whoops, it's I'm sure there's a way I could have done that a little bit better, but it's just a very gritty mixture. This is from VeryPlants. So far I have all of my cactus, except for this one, in this soil, and the majority of my jade plants are also in this mixture as well. So I hope I have enough to, I should have enough for all of the separate pots here, but that's what I use now. Otherwise, where is it? I don't even know if I have any, but I've used Pro Mixes. I have a little cupboard down here with all my soil and pots and that sort of thing, but I have used Pro Mix Cactus in succulent mix, and that is a good option as well. You can also add a little bit extra perlite or even sand in there for drainage. You just want a very well draining soil. There's a couple ways to safely take a cactus out of the pot. One is just the old trusty salad tongs, which I've commandeered from upstairs in our kitchen. There's also another method of just grabbing some scrap paper. I don't have any paper large enough for this one, but I'm using this tea towel, and you fold it up almost into a band, and then you simply just wrap it around the plant. Say this isn't even going to be large enough, so you want something that's large enough where you can hold on to safely and squeeze it, like squeeze the pot. Yeah, this one doesn't. You want ideally a little bit more over here where you can grab onto. This one, that's a little sketchy, but for today I'm going to be using the tried and tested salad tong method. So I'm just going to squeeze the bottom of the pot just so it loosens all these guys up, and I'm going to take the tongs and carefully remove it. So quite a large root system. Now when looking at the roots itself, you want to make sure that you don't see any white kind of fluffy stuff. That would be root mealybugs. Everything with this one looks pretty good. So I'm going to set this down, and I'm going to try and remove as much of the soil as I can before I put it in its new mixture. Now I have read that ideally you should water cactus before you do the repot for a couple reasons. Just making sure, as long as it needs water is what I should say, just to kind of rehydrate the cactus, but also to help loosen up the soil. This stuff, it's not bad. It's actually coming away quite easily. If you have rock hard soil, then it's a good idea to just let it soak, and kind of like the day before you do the repotting. Now I'm just going to see, before I start scraping away at all the roots, I'm just going to see if I can pull these apart and just separate them. Now obviously I'm going to break some roots, but that's okay. I never have a problem with cactus and succulents kind of rerooting, so. Ow, oh, yeah, got poked. Got stabbed. Okay. There. So that guy's removed. Easy enough. No blood drawn yet. I don't know if you can see it or not, but here's a little offshoot to this one. So I think I'm going to pot this one up separately, because clearly it's got a few, and there's another little one. Here's one too. So it looks like it's got 3 little offshoots, which I'll try and protect as best as I can, and then kind of break up this soil. So that's pretty cool. That was kind of unexpected. I'm just making an absolute mess here, but just taking off all of these smaller roots, getting all these soil off here. I might give it a quick spray as well, and then I'll put it in that new cactus mixture there. There, something like that. Alright, so I just sprayed these off in the shower. I used a Tupperware bin to collect all the dirt and perlite, just making sure it doesn't go down my drain, so I'm going to dump that outside. With the tray and the tongs, I feel like I'm serving up some spicy pickles or something like that. Now, for the pot size, I'm going to take this pot before I plant them in this. What I should have done is stuck this in a container of water overnight. If you repot any plant in a dry, like brand new terracotta pot, it's going to suck up or wick up all the moisture in the plant or in the soil extremely fast. You might not even realize, like even just after watering your plant, why it dried out like super fast. So I usually like to soak or at least just rinse these off just so it doesn't completely just suck all the moisture out of the pot. And I'm gonna show an example of this. I've already taken this over to the shower and sprayed off, so you can see there's some water in the bottom, but watch how fast this dries. It'll dry in front of your eyes. Like look how fast that just wicks up that moisture into the pot. So that's what it's doing to your soil as well. I can do it a couple more times and I know it's going to just soak it in. So that's what makes terracotta an incredible choice for cactus and succulents. Like it's literally drying in front of my eyes. So that's crazy. Okay, so I got my pots separated here. I'm gonna put this one down. I don't think I said at the start, but I do want to put one of these outside as well. So just kind of compare the growth of an outdoor cactus throughout the summer compared to one that remains indoors, but still getting bright light through my south-facing window. These all will be going on the window ledge of my south-facing window. And you know what, I actually, since I have three, I might compare the growth from a grow light to indoor natural sunlight and outdoor natural sunlight. So cactus not only love bright light, but they love heat, same with jade plants. That's why these plants do so well outdoors in the summer, is they not only get a ton of light, but they also get a ton of heat. So actually I might separate these three into their own individual pots. Like I said, I'm using the VeryPlants soilless gritty mixture. Actually, I'm just going to size this big chunky one up here first, just to see how far down it needs to be potted. So something like that. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom. And then I'll just fill in around the edges there. I'm not going to be watering these until probably around 3 or 4 days after potting these up. So probably sometime next week I will give these some water. The reason for that, and again, it's just there's varying opinions out there, but I kind of disturbed a lot of the roots for this, so I just want them to kind of callus over and start their repairing process. So just slowly adjust to its new type of soil and its new pot. Now, I'm not going to be just throwing these in bright light because I don't know where they came from. Well, I do. They came from the greenhouse. And generally, they have like shade cloths and all that sort of thing. So this probably wasn't in like, you know, bright full sun exposure. So I want to slowly acclimate this to that highlight. So I might put it on the table just off to the side of my south-facing window, so it'll get some bright afternoon light, but it's not going to get the direct, harsh sunlight from the south. And hopefully this plant doesn't rot. Hopefully that's not rot on the side. So there, I can safely remove the tongs, and I'm just going to make sure that this thing remains upright, and then just fill in this soil around the sides, or the soilless mixture around the sides, and this is pretty much done. If you're interested in this type of mixture, like this pre-mixed stuff, there is a link down in the description. I know they ship to Canada and the US. I'm not too sure if they do overseas, like to Europe or anything like that, but the reason why I like this type of mixture is because I don't like making my own mix. This is just a nice, easy, convenient way to pot up plants. So saves me on space, and yeah, I just keep it underneath the table here. So I'm just going to lightly tap the edges just to help settle the soil around the plant. I can also use a pencil. If you follow my channel, then you know that I should have another pencil, but you know that I love using pencils. So there. Okay, now for the last two. This one's awesome because it has the new growth. So Just gonna stuff these roots in the pot just to kind of size it up here quickly. Put a little bit of soil in the bottom. There's my little cup. This cactus is not actually bad because if you get poked, it's just a quick little poke, pinch, whatever. There's some out there that have very almost invisible pokey things, spines, whatever you want to call them. And you won't notice it until you are like opening up a door or something like that and you rub your hand up against it and you feel these little almost like hair-like pricks. Those are the worst. So yeah, don't ever touch a cactus. Actually, if you can, use some gloves, because let me tell you, if you get those little hair-like spines in your hands, it's impossible to see, and you pretty much need tweezers to get them out. They're just so fine. Yeah, I did a couple repottings last year. It did not go very well. I do have some cactus planted outside. I'm just going to use my pencil to stabilize the cactus like that, so I can turn it around, and then I can get some soil on this side. There. Hold it, pack it down. That's a little off center. There. I covered up those new little growth points, so hopefully they pop through here soon and we get a few more. Actually, I should have potted it a little bit further back so that those guys have some room to spread out, but we'll see how it goes. I can always do another repot here down the road. We'll let this one kind of acclimate and adjust here. So give it a little bit of a shake, help settle the soil. There, this one's done. We'll move on to the last one, and then that'll be it. I hate doing repots on these guys too, because whenever you get like perlite when you're washing it, it'll get caught up in the spines here, and then down the road you'll look at it and be like, oh my god, it's a mealybug. But it's not, it's just a piece of perlite. Same thing, I'm just going to use my little pencil at the top here. I'm just going to get my hand out of the way, keep it center. We'll cover up the spicy pickle. Okay, so they are all potted up, and you can see this is what I'm talking about. All these little pieces of perlite get stuck up there. So I will rinse this off in a couple days. I'll spray the cactus, like the cactus itself down, as well as thoroughly saturate the soil. Now I know some people are probably going to say, well, you really shouldn't get a cactus or succulent wet. They don't like to have water on the leaves. That's true for when they're indoors, but when they're outdoors, obviously they get rain, they get soaked, so it's not a big deal. The problem where you run into with having them in your home and standing water on the cactus or the leaves is you don't have sufficient airflow. So outside you're going to have wind, it's going to evaporate all that moisture off of the plant itself. So you just don't want water sitting on the plant. So if you have a fan or open a window or something like that just to provide some appropriate air circulation, then you won't have any issues of water sitting on the plant and causing any like bacteria or fungal issues. So you can soak them, you can rinse them off. I do frequently with my jades. I take them over to the shower, I spray them off with my hose. But afterwards, I will just put a fan on it just so they dry out. So this is what they look like, and obviously down the road, I'll provide some updates. Now, if you didn't want all three, this is a good way to buy a plant and separate them, and then you can do trades for other succulents or cactus, whatever you want, or you can sell them, make a couple extra bucks off of separating them like that. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it. So hopefully this has helped you with your upcoming repotting project, or just seeing a different technique or information, that sort of thing. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. I do read all of my comments. And if you need any other information, there are many good channels out there. I'll leave a couple up on the screen here. If you're looking for more specific information about cactus, succulents and that sort of thing. So there are many wonderful channels out there that you should go check out. If you've never tried them before, I encourage you to give one a try. The biggest thing is just giving it a lot of light, so appropriate light, thoroughly watering it but letting it dry out, and it shouldn't be an issue. And eventually they will reward you with beautiful, beautiful flowers. So thanks for watching this video, and like I said, hopefully it helped you with your repotting process and just cactus in general. So thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye.